In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the step-by-step process for you to follow in order to sign your first SMMA client in 7 days. Yes, that's right. 7 days. Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a complete guide on how I would get my first SMMA client within 7 days without using any paid ads. If you haven't already, please comment down below for a chance to win $50 on how landing your first client in 7 days would change your life. This won't be easy, and it will require you to spend countless hours on this and probably lead to you having little sleep some nights. However, if you truly want this, you need to sacrifice. And I think that's the first thing I want to mention. How much do you really want this? Have you asked yourself that question? Why do you want this? What are you actually doing this for? Because this will take up a lot of your time, so you really need to be committed to it and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. A month or so ago, I did a video about breaking down how you can get to 10K per month and the amount of work required. If you haven't already, go check it out up here. But anyway, in that video, I shared the maths behind it. And before you do anything, that's what you need to do. So look, I'm gonna summarize it for you here. If you do 2,000 pieces of outreach, you should get 2 clients, which means 1,000 messages on average will result in a client. All right, so bear with me. 1,000 messages or cold calls or whatever it is divided by 7 is 143 pieces of outreach every single day. This will result in approximately 20 meetings, from which 10 will show up, and assuming you aren't good at sales, a 10% closing rate, that's 1 client out of 10. So there you have it. Now you know your numbers. And the funny thing is, I've just told you what you need to do. But like maybe 1% of you watching this will actually do it, and the other 99% will go on and watch other videos after this and just waste time. This isn't for the faint of heart. 7 days to get a client isn't impossible, but it's very challenging. Day 1 is all about figuring out what niche we're going into and also the offer we're going to provide. So first and foremost, sit down and figure this out because we don't have much time. We need to get onto our outreach. Ideally, I'd like you to speak to a couple of business owners, just finding out about their pains, problems, what they're struggling with, what they need help with the most, and really figuring out how you can solve their problem. Please don't spend a whole lot of time on this. If you know a business needs qualified booked appointments, then that's your offer. Go with it. I always believe your offer needs to have some sort of guarantee so it eliminates the risk on the business owner's side, especially when you're just getting started. You'll also need to work out how you're going to deliver this service. Will it be Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, YouTube ads? What will it be? Majority of you will probably choose Facebook because it just makes sense. So, all right, we've got our niche, we have our offer, and we have created that based on the business's pains and problems that they need solved, but also looking at the marketplace and understanding what they would find valuable. And now we need to start outreach. Remember, we need to hit 143 today before going to bed. Notice how I haven't mentioned a website, a business name, or a logo at all. It's because those things aren't truly necessary to sign a client. When it comes to which outreach method is best, I think it really depends on what niche you're in. If you're working with concreters, for example, Instagram isn't the right one for you. If you're working with dentists, then cold calling probably isn't the best way because you're not going to get the decision maker. You always need to speak with the decision maker when you're doing your outreach. This is also another thing when you're picking your niche. Don't pick something so left field that you need to go through multiple people to get to the person who makes the final decision. Or don't go for some big corporate company where they need 4 people to sign off on it because the sales cycle is just far too long. The owner needs to be accessible. All right, so once we got our niche, we have our irresistible offer, and we get to outreach, all I want you to do is focus on that full throttle. Cold calling, Facebook and Instagram DMs, whatever you need to do. Remember, we only have 7 days, so cold calling is probably going to be the quickest way to get interest because within 10 seconds, you're gonna know if someone is willing to talk or they're gonna hang up on you. The challenge is all about speed and just speaking with as many businesses as humanly possible. Day 2 to 7 will be the exact same. You're gonna be focusing all your effort on hitting the daily outreach numbers, plus managing the ones who reply to try to organize a time to meet with them. It really isn't difficult. It's just time and effort. That's something that Most people just aren't willing to do though. By day 3, you should have started to have some conversations about setting a time to discuss your offer. Remember, if you do 143 pieces of outreach, you're going to get between 2 to 3 people wanting to book a time. Let's say 3 people book in. Then expect maybe 1 or 2 to show up based on the numbers we've previously discussed. This is all about input and output. That's it. Now, for those wondering, if we don't have a business name or business accounts, then how are we doing our outreach? Well, you use your personal account. I always say use your personal one. Even when I have a business set up and you're established, I would always reach out on your personal profile, because people do business with people. Make sure to remove some of the photos of you like partying, drunk photos, and anything like those pictures, just delete them. It is good to have a mix between personal and professional, just not drunk photos. The reality is all you need to do before starting the outreaching to clients is figure out your niche, create an offer and service, and just go for it. Too many people are stuck in their heads, and that's the biggest roadblock and what stops most of them. You all think you need to be 100% ready. You have to have a website before you do what needs to be done. Look, Isaiah joined the program, and within 7 days, he had his first client and actually turned a client away as well. So in reality, he could have had 2. He didn't have a website, and even now, he doesn't. All he is doing is taking consistent action and putting in the work, which is outreach. He's not focusing on a business name because he doesn't even have one, or he doesn't even have a logo yet. Look, I really want this video to motivate you to put in the work and do what needs to be done. I'd also like for you to comment down below if you followed all this with the results, because I can guarantee for the ones that do this, you will have a client, but majority just won't take action. They watch, but never implement it themselves. The most amount of time that you should spend on a business name or a logo is 1 day. That's it. Outreach is far more important than a logo or a business name. Once you have your offer, service, and niche, from the 1,000 pieces of outreach, you should book 20 calls, from which 10 will show up, and you should close 1 of them. Don't overcomplicate it. If you'd like to get started to grow or scale your social media marketing agency, then please fill in your details below and book a time to speak with me. I'll talk to you soon.